ABC has a new show called Stumptown, and I have some thoughts. Hey, thanks for watching today. I want to talk about this brand new show that debuts tonight on ABC called Stumptown. And I don't really do TV show reviews, not much anyway. I've done a few. But this one takes place in Portland. And I live in Portland. I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere else, so I figure, let me give it a shot, see what's up with it. Interesting, I know a lot of the exterior shots are done in Portland. I think they filmed part of the pilot in Portland. I guess the rest of it's filmed in LA. So I just want to give you my initial impression of the show. Now, apparently, I didn't know this, but it's based off a graphic novel. Not really a graphic novel guy. Never heard of it, but that's kind of interesting. And that's a good thing, I think, going forward, because they would then have a lot of stories to draw from. This show stars Cobie Smulders, and you may know her from How I Met Your Mother. I think she played Robin on that show. I didn't really watch it, but she didn't seem immediately to be a comedic actress. She seemed to be a great dramatic actress in this pilot episode, so good on her. I think that they did a great job in casting her. The other person that I could recognize was, let's see, what's his name? Jake Johnson. He played Nick on The New Girl, and he did a nice job. He plays a bartender, I guess, and her friend. And also Catherine Manheim. Is that her name? Yeah. Oh, Cameron Manheim is on the show, but she had a very small part. I think she was one of the police lieutenants or something like that. Maybe. Anyway, the show is, I guess, like a cop dramedy kind of thing. I think that they did a really nice job of setting it up. We're drawn in immediately with the opening, with some bad guys driving around, and something fishy happens, and the star breaks out and does something. I guess I don't want to give it away, right? But I think that they did a nice job setting it up. She kind of plays one of these tough women that has been through things and has issues that we like, but maybe makes some poor life decisions. That's kind of the gist that I get from it. They do talk about her background in Afghanistan. She has PTSD. She might be a problem gambler. She might drink a lot. I'm not sure about that one yet. But immediately, the show really did well. I thought that they set the scene great. I like the color palette of it. It was a darker, with lots of grays and blues to make Portland a character in the show. Kind of reminds me a lot of like a Scandinavian noir, where it always seems to be winter. It always seems to be not sunny. And so, yeah, that was done really well. Now, in this, I don't know, I only watched it once, she might not have a job at the beginning of the show, perhaps. And at the end of the show, she may get a job being a private eye or some kind of thing like that, a person that goes out and takes care of business, maybe some business that the police aren't able to handle themselves or don't want to. And so that's always appealing, right? This is one of the standards in TV, or these PIs. There have been PIs on TV my entire life, and I always like that as a premise for a show. I just think back to like Magnum PI and Simon and Simon and Riptide back in the 80s. A PI is a standard TV show, and so they've got a lot to work with here, especially coming from the graphic novel. Now, as this is set in Portland, did it match everything that I was hoping for? being set in Portland. Well, we know it wasn't really filmed in Portland. It was filmed in LA, but they did have some scenes in Portland. Her brother, of course, is wearing Portland Timbers gear, and I'm sure that they will shoehorn in a lot of references to Portland. But it wasn't that over the top, which is good, because so often TV companies just really like to be cliche about the city that they're in. And if they're in, they're in Portland, so there's got to be a lot of coffee, right? And a lot of coffee talk and talking about coffee, and that's actually how the show opens. Another thing that I appreciated in the storytelling is occasionally it would go to a handheld camera that was a little shaky, and that was nice to mix it up from the other shots. So aesthetically, I think the show was filmed really, really well, and it really made you engrossed in the action and everything that's going on. Now, do I think that this is going to be a hit show? Maybe. I don't, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. I think it has a lot of potential, and it could do that. Because when we think about shows, we don't necessarily watch shows because they're good. I mean, that helps. But we watch shows because we like the characters on the show, and we like seeing what they're doing. And the characters on this show are appealing, and I can see people wanting to follow along with the stories. I think there's a lot of potential going forward, and yeah, hopefully they'll do a good job, especially since this is a Portland show. I'm rooting for it. But if you've never seen anything on my channel, just to let you know, I make videos about whatever I feel like making videos about. I haven't done a TV review in like forever. Most of the time I talk about politics. I just reviewed a book. So I just talk about whatever I find interesting, and if I find it interesting, maybe you'll find it interesting. Maybe you won't. But check out some of my other videos. That would be rad. And let me know your thoughts on Stumptown in the comments. Peace.